United Kingdom had advised its citizens to avoid travel to several parts of Nigeria, raising concern over terrorism, violent crimes, kidnapping, and intercommunal clashes. This was contained in the latest foreign travel advice released on govern.uk and cited by Dialogue yesterday, Sunday. In the latest advisory, the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office said insecurity is increasing across Nigeria, adding that kidnapping, violent crime, and intercommunal violence occur throughout all regions of Nigeria. It also emphasized that more needs to be done. The advisory called on British nationals to exercise extreme caution, review safety proceedings, and also ensure that they have contingent plans in place. The FCDO advised against all travel to Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Gombe, Katsina, Zamfara states, citing a high and increasing threat from Boko Haram and Islamic State West African province, particularly around transport hubs, religious area, and large gathering. According to the statement, the UK warned that humanitarian personnel and also those with supplies and infrastructure can be targeted by terrorists and these criminals. British government staff in Nigeria had been advised to restrict travel to an area bordering within the Abuja metropolis area. This very advice is coming from the British government, is coming also at a time where there's heightened tension between Nigeria and the United States over insecurity in the most populous black nation on the planet. But whether the US goes ahead with the threat or not, the most important thing is that security should improve in the country, and the need for us to talk about it on this lovely edition of Dialogue. And that is what we're talking about, handling the growing insecurity in the country. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on Dialogue. We're talking about handling the growing insecurity in the country, knowing that just recently, like I said, just yesterday, we got a wind that the UK has advised its citizens about traveling to Nigeria. And not only that, we're quite sure others might follow suit. But anyway, following our tradition of discussion, you do know we do not just talk alone, we always have a guest. And our guests are always resource persons with credible and indeed intelligent answering, especially as it concerns the topic at hand. And I have no other person but an elder. I like calling him an elder statesman because he has gone through all circles in life, especially in this very big heart. And we're talking about Delta State, and I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Makege. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, listeners and viewers.
Well, it's not a good time for Nigeria as it concerns security issues. But anyway, we'll just say, well, we can do the best we can. But anyway, talking about our introduction, this will be the first time a Western nation will put on an advisory as it concerns its citizens. And like I said, I'm quite sure some other countries might follow suit. But whether they follow or not, it's more like summing up the security situation that we are presently facing at the moment. Now, my question will be 2 points. My first question is the country really in a dire situation as concerns insecurity? That's number one. And I do know you're an economist. A follow-up question to that, is it going to affect us greatly on the economical angle? Knowing that in recent time, we seem to be posting very encouraging results as it concerns the economy and growth. But let's get your question, or get your answers as it concerns those two questions.
If the situation of insecurity in Nigeria today, if it were imposed by a foreign government on Nigeria, Nigeria should go to war.
Strong statement.
Yes, Nigeria should go to war. When you travel nowadays, when you are outside your home, your house, your primary concern is security. Security is now the governing concern in your heart as you step out of your house. The security of your children at school is of concern to you. The security of your family is almost getting to the point where we need to put a machete, a cutlass in our bag to escort our family members outside to protect them. It is that bad. And that dovetails into your second question.
Yes.
There cannot be prosperity where there is insecurity. Insecurity breeds poverty. The only people who get wealthy in an insecure situation are the arms producers. That's all. Because it gets to a point where those who threaten security themselves, their own security is also threatened. So we are in a very bad situation. We don't need all those advisories from foreign countries
So let
us know that we are bad. Do we need a doctor to tell you that your stomach is paining you? We are in a very bad situation, security-wise. And all those figures that have been thrown around as economic boost and all that, I'm not too sure of them.
Anyway, I will not make you drag us into that discussion. I will leave that for another day. But let's still with the issue of the insecurity. And anyway, a sad news got to the table of dialogue just yesterday in the evening that a woman, one Mrs. Elizabeth Olorushoba, was killed, an elderly woman was killed yesterday in Kogi State when she and other persons were adopted by bandits, but she was not able to walk fast as they were ushering them into
the bush.
So she was shot in the head and left behind. Sad tale of insecurity. Our heart goes out to the family. But that's not only the report we got during the weekend. We also got during the weekend that the Lukarawa terrorist group also attacked a custom camp yesterday in Kebbi, and they even burnt it down. And well, we've not got the information is still a bit sketchy, but be rest assured, we right here on Dialogue on Atlantic TV are always following reports, and we have credible intelligence gathering that will bring it to you to know whether we have any loss of life during that very sad incident. But it brings me to my next question. Things are not getting better. We've spent trillions of naira in the last decade and a half fighting insecurity, but yes, it seems to be getting up a new life, metamorphosing into a different direction and a more dangerous one. So my most important question, which I'm now forced to ask, why are we not winning this war upon the huge money and men we are pushing into the fight?
I don't know if the trillions that you mentioned,
yes,
that are said to be pumped into the security apparatus actually get pumped into the security apparatus.
Sir, as of 2024, our defense budget was put at 4.57 trillion. As of 2025, our defense budget was put at 6.59 trillion, amounting to almost 11%.
Yes, how much of it actually goes into into security? How much of it? The leakages along the road. When the retired Air Force Chief of Staff, Naval Chief of Staff, when they were tried, you remember, the story was on the air, how much money they were stealing from the budgetary allocation. We hear of complaints from our soldiers at the war front, complaining of lack of
the basics.
Yes.
Food, portable drinking water.
And are you sure that even the arms we are buying are good? Are you sure? Are you sure they fire when they are supposed to fire? These are logistics that need critical review, because it's not just money budgeted for. What money is spent on? How much is spent on? We can't close our eyes to the corruption in the armed forces. We cannot. Look at the statement by Secretary Haggett of the United States on Nigeria. That the money being allocated by United States to support Nigeria, they don't even know how it's spent. They don't know how it's spent. So look, we are in a very desperate situation, security-wise.
Desperate.
Desperate situation. And we shouldn't wait until he knocks on our door before we rise up. Security is the primary responsibility of government. Security is the primary responsibility of government. How do you say that for years, Abuja-Kaduna rule cannot be applied? Kaduna State is almost boundary with Abuja.
Yeah.
The Abuja-Kaduna rail was at a point abandoned because of bandits. So if the federal capital can be under threat for a long time, and it's still under threat till now, and the criminals, where they are, we know them. We know where they are. We are in the era of drones. We are in the era of satellite surveillance.
Yeah.
The technology is there. The technology is not strange to us. We spend billions, trillions on acquiring equipment. Where are they? Why are they not being used? Why are they not being deployed? How can militants, bandits, terrorists camp within miles of Abuja? And we have an army. We have an air force. We have police. We have DSS. And we are not taking the war to them. In our own territory, in our own country, how can militants, terrorists be hiding in Sambisa forest? How can they be hiding in Samfara forest? How can they be hiding in a horror forest here in Delta State? In a horror here in a Gweru. And we are not taking the war to them. What kind of military do we have? Do we need to have Donald Trump to tell us that we failed and we failed woefully? This war has been on for how many years? It took Buhari almost a year, if not more than a year, to declare the bandits terrorists. These people have been killing and killing and killing. Today we've not had the courage. Government has not gotten the courage to tell us how bandits came to Nigeria. Even when we know, even when Baraje mentioned that APC government of Buhari brought them into the country. And we are crying that if Trump comes to Nigeria to help, it's an affront on our sovereignty. But when it is alleged that El-Rufai and Buhari government used Amiyeti Allah to bring Fulani bandits into Nigeria, there wasn't sovereignty then. That wasn't sovereignty. Sovereignty was not an issue. But when the help is coming now, we're not talking of sovereignty. You see, we are not serious. We are not serious.
Okay, now, I still want to pick you on that, because you just raised something now, which seems to be on the front burner as we also continue our discussion. Yeah. Many are saying, yes, we can still attribute securing lives and property as the main principal responsibility of any government and this very government. But some also feel that this is beyond what this government can do. It is not taking a foreign dimension. And foreign in the sense that these arms that are being paraded by these bandits are being supplied by foreign hands. It's also being said that since the issue of us having issues with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger that are being ruled by military leaders, since that ECOWAS and those countries had that breakdown of good relationship, everything has spiraled into outside our own hands. So my question now, do you feel this war can only be won when we have foreign hands coming to assist us, number one, and number two, having good cordial relation, especially with countries around the Sahel? And because many are saying this is way beyond what the government can do. Even if you use military might, if these indices, our relationship with especially our immediate neighbors, are not being addressed, it will persist.
When there was a military coup in the Nigeria Republic,
yes,
President Tinubu ordered that the coup plotters should relinquish authority very quickly, or Nigeria will invade. that makes it very clear that good neighborliness is very important. Good neighborliness is very important.
Yes.
What happens in one affects the other.
Yes, most certainly.
When the president therefore said that we may likely invade, we will likely invade Niger, we are creating enemies where we should not create enemies. That's number one. Number two, your neighbor is your neighbor is part and parcel of your security. I'm talking of country. When Ukraine became hostile to Russia by wanting to join Russian enemy NATO,
and
you see what is happening there. Can you imagine Canada becoming a member of the Soviet of Russia? Can't be. When Russia wanted to install missiles in Cuba,
yes, we saw what
that almost
led
led to
Kennedy
and Brezhnev era. That nearly led to World War III.
Yes.
So your neighbors are as important as yourself. You must have good relationship with them. That's number one. Number two, let's come to cross-border crime. You just mentioned here that there was a raid on is it custom camp?
Yeah, custom camp in Kebbi.
In Kebbi. That's a border town.
It was set ablaze.
Yes, that was a border town. There was a time during Obasanjo era, when armed robbers were coming from Benin Republic
yes.
to steal cars and kill
Tijani,
exactly. These are problems. We must have, the bottom line is that we must have excellent relationship with our neighbors. Right now, herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen, are escaping Nigeria through Furore, a border town in Adamawa State. They are escaping in thousands into Cameroon because they fear Americans are coming. Then if Americans come and they go, I wish they won't come back. So you see, it's sustainability that is important. The Americans come and they will go. If they don't go, then they become an invasion force, an occupation force.
Yes.
If they leave, can we have adequate security apparatus to checkmate all those that have escaped? They don't come back. And do we have enough capacity to sustain the peace of that period? The bottom line is, there are very few patriotic Nigerians. We think more as a tribe man than a Nigerian. And that's the bottom line. You see the people burning American flags in the north of the country.
Kano, to be precise.
Such is not happening in the south.
Yeah.
The people of the southern Nigeria are completely different in value, in orientation, from the people in the north. You are having a problem and the person is saying, I'm coming to help you to solve this problem. And you're burning his flags. So this is an issue. Very few Nigerians are patriotic.
Very few believe in the Nigerian cause.
Yes, in the Nigerian cause. Very, very few believe in it. The only time Nigerians believe in Nigeria is when there's a football match between Eagles and some foreign country. That's all.
Okay, anyways, well, in case you're joining us, it's Dialogue, and today we're looking at handling the growing insecurity in the country, especially looking at what the UK High Commission gave out yesterday, has been also monitored by this very great station, Atlantic TV, and the program Dialogue, telling their citizens to beware, not to visit some part of Nigerians, and indeed telling them to even just naturally just stay off. Well, anyway, we're not staying off the issue, but rather discussing it. We're looking at dealing with the growing insecurity in the country and what needs to be done. But anyway, he's doing just that, and I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege, helping out with the discourse. And well, we're still looking at the issue of foreign interference. Now, since the United States came out to say, well, they will definitely see if they'll come in and deal with the problem being faced by Nigeria, we've had many world powers coming out to also voice their concern. One major world power that came out first was China, telling the Americans to stay off Nigerian issues. Another major one, well, the EU also had their voice on it. But just yesterday, we right here on Dialogue also monitored that the Russian Foreign Ministry also came out to say, well, they will advise no country to interfere in another country's issue, and said they're having a close monitor of the situation itself. Now, I'm not curious to ask, is Nigeria such an important question that is even making the world powers go at each other's jugular on account of what seems to be happening? I really want to understand.
Well, let's flatter ourselves that we are important.
We are important.
Let's flatter ourselves that we are important.
Come on, Chief Olori.
You see, Oshiomhole came on air just last week, accusing China of flaming the insecurity situation in the country. That Chinese illegal miners are arming terrorists to protect their business venture. So if China now says America should keep away, you can understand why. Secondly, if America comes, it's not free. America is not coming free of charge. We are going to pay reparation.
In one way or the other?
In one way or the other. We are going to get influenced by America. And when you are influenced by America, positively, because now they've been a savior, then what do you call Chinese? China is what? China becomes an enemy. But I'm not worried about that. Nigeria is not likely to become a center for foreign conflict. I don't think so. Russia has enough on his hands
with Ukraine.
So he must talk. That's why he talked. But America, if America wants to come, America will come. America is going to El Salvador, and it's over there now.
Yes.
And nothing is stopping them. So let's not count on China, Russia, or EU. EU has not been able to help Ukraine. They've just exacerbated the situation there. So these guys are talking to protect their pockets of business influence in Nigeria. We shouldn't look towards them. America is not coming to invade us. America is coming to help us to solve a problem we cannot solve ourselves. It wasn't on Dino Melaye in 2023 who in the Senate, right in the Senate, saying if we need foreign aid, let's ask for it. This security has become too rampant that people are dying and dying and dying. In 2023, why is it now that people are responding, America is responding, we are complaining? Why? And the majority of the complaints are coming from one section. The section that is most bedeviled by insecurity.
Okay, now, still looking at this, I'm also a bit curious to ask, because we saw in the papers that two major religious groups seems to be on also each other's jugular. Crossfire has been happening since that very threat coming from the United States. And I'm talking about the National Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, and also the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN. They both came out during the weekend to say, well, NSCIA say, well, nothing like Christian genocide. Why the PFN seems to have a contrary view. Now, let's just quickly, is this all about, is it a religious thing? It's just a question.
Yes. There is no way you look at this thing that you won't conclude that it's a religious thing. Churches have been burnt.
But mosques are also being burnt.
Yes, but not at the same rate.
Muslims are also being killed.
Yes, not at the same rate. And not for the same reason. Not for the same reason. There could be conflict. The conflict, in Islam, there are various denominations.
Yes, set. We have
the Shia, we have
the Sunnis, the Shiites, All of that.
They don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. What is the difference between why is Iran fighting Saudi Arabia?
Iran is Shiite.
It's Shiite.
Saudi Arabia is Sunni.
Sunni.
Yeah.
So if there's a conflict within the Muslim community, which we have experienced too, Bishop Masantana or something.
Yeah.
Malam
Tassine.
Yes. The Shias have been murdered in Kaduna
Yeah.
several times. So if there is inter-religious conflict within the Muslims, they can be burning their mosque. But Christians are not fighting Christians. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
And we cannot therefore say that there is no
Religious coloration.
to it. There is religious coloration. Anybody killed either is a Muslim or a Christian. But in the case of Deborah, that was stoned to death because he was thanking God, thanking Jesus for successful completion of her program. And she was stoned to death. Was she stoned to death because of what? Because she's a woman? Because she's beautiful? Or because she's ugly? Or because she's... No! It's a blasphemy thing. There's a blasphemy law in the northern Nigeria. If you criticize anything sacred to the Muslims, the punishment is death.
Irrespective of your religion.
Irrespective of the religion.
It's the Sharia penal code.
So that is the point. That is the issue. That is the issue. So to say there is no religious crisis in Nigeria is a lie. To say that Christians are not being massacred is a lie. To also add that Muslims are also being killed is the point. Muslims are being killed, but not at the rate of Christians being killed. 18,000 churches being burnt. How are you going to classify that? 123,000 Christians killed. What is that? And nobody is arrested. Nobody is prosecuted. Nobody is punished for it. Terrorists invade a whole area. They sack the villages and they occupy the villages. They are there in the villages. Security apparatus are not going there to arrest them. You sack a village, you occupy the village. You see how bad it is. Nobody is being prosecuted. Nobody is being arrested. There is no blame. We just sweep everything under the carpet. We forget. Or we pretend to forget. And the people that you killed, they have brothers, they have sisters, they have fathers, they have mothers. Do you think they are not going to plot revenge? They are going to plot revenge. So the earlier we put an end to this program, the better for us. And I am saying America should have been here yesterday.
Anyway, that's the talk they had yesterday. But we are right here today, and we're still talking about the issue.
I'm saying they are already late.
Okay, well, I do understand what you meant. But I wanted to bring us back to the studio to continue our discussion. Now, whether we like it, whether foreigners come, they don't come, whether it's a religious thing, it's not a religious thing, the most important thing is that Nigerians need to be secure. That's the most important
That's
thing.
the important thing.
Now, that brings me to the main question. How can we better secure ourselves? In your own view, what needs to be done?
By being sincere to ourselves, one, we must recognize that we are created differently. There are so many things that separate us than join us.
As a people.
As a people. And we don't have the right to ask God, why did you create this person short and why did you create this person tall? We don't have the right to ask God, why is this person a Christian? Why is this person a Muslim? We don't have. We need to be tolerant of each other. Knowing fully well that your idea cannot be superior to my idea. We must be tolerant. We are a country of diverse people. And therefore, diversity is the order of the day in a country like Nigeria. That's number one. We need to have proper indoctrination of our military.
Okay.
I think TRADOC, the arm of the military that is in charge of training and indoctrination is doing a very bad job. That's my view, my personal view. Otherwise, why will a soldier's loyalty be to his tribe or to his religion and not to the country that trained him? There is a story that when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, the Americans came to rescue them. And they planned with the Nigerian army that they would gas the camp so that the Boko Haram would fall asleep. But when they got there, the Boko Haram were already wearing masks. Who leaked the story to them? Who leaked the secret to them? Is it not within the Nigerian army, among the planners? Do you think that the Americans will come and be planning with low-level soldiers? They are planning with the top rank. So what that tells us that among the military, there are Judases. And that's why I'm saying indoctrination is key. Patriotism must be imbibed in us. We must continue to think of the Nigerian project as our own, as part and parcel, as our entire life depends on that thing. When the American national anthem is being played, you see people weeping. You experience that emotion, that patriotism, living patriotism, live patriotism. I watched on TikTok a Chinese little boy, a toddler, still on that one. He was crying. When the Chinese national anthem was played on the television, he stood up and kept quiet. As soon as the anthem was completed, he started crying again. He fell down and started crying again. That is patriotism I'm talking about. When you hear your country, you get a rush of adrenaline
to your heart.
Into your heart. We don't have it, and that is the problem. And no government is addressing it, and politicians are not addressing it because politicians thrive on divisive rhetorics. And that is the problem. If we start thinking of Nigeria as be all and end of all of our life, the problem will be solved. That's part of security situation, a long-term plan. Lastly, we must develop a highly intelligent gathering mechanism with a follow-up.
With a follow-up.
With a follow-up. When a Christian bishop announced that his village he got information that his village was going to be attacked in, I think, Benue or Plateau State. And he cried out. Weeks before the attack, nothing happened. Until the attack actually happened. And soldiers went down there and were patrolling empty streets. So there must be a follow-up to intelligence. You hear something, do something. That is very vital if we are going to have peace and growth in Nigeria. You see, I didn't prepare for this question. You got me by.
But anyway, your answers are here.
That was
in your heart.
In my mind.
Yeah.
You know? We need also to start engaging our soldiers, the commanders, and rewarding them for doing a good job and punishing them seriously. Punishing them seriously.
If they fail.
If they fail. Give excuses. You are not employed for excuses. You are employed to do your job. And doing your job is getting Nigeria safe. If we cannot control internal crisis, internal security challenges, how prepared are we to defend Nigeria against external? How prepared are we? Are we just having soldiers who harass people left, right, center? Are we just having policemen? whose only job is to collect 2,800 naira at checkpoints. Nigeria is a country, it has gotten so bad that rather than prosecute, you settle. Settlement has now crept into our lexicon when it comes to security matters. You can kill somebody and you settle if you have the money. That bad. So Nigerian life has now a monetary value, which is very sad.
But the Nigerian life does matter. And
it does matter in Naira content.
Well, anyway, it's a sad narrative. But
yes, but that's the truth.
But yeah, I want to still come back to you on that very question. Because, yeah, all you are talking about, if you look at all you said, is us sitting up as a nation and taking the fight to the bandits.
Yeah.
That's all you're saying.
Yes.
A nutshell of what you've said.
That's it.
But there's this other school of thought that feels it's not just going to be military might that might end this. Dialogue needs to come in. And somebody emphasizing that is not that person but Sheikh Gumi.
Yeah, the number one supporter of terrorism.
Come on.
Yes, he can come after he was going to sue me, sorry. Let him come and sue me.
Now,
his son is also in the military. His son has just...
I've seen him.
Yes, his son has just graduated as, is it a lieutenant or son? And that man will go and command.
So do you feel dialogue is not? We should not use no
You don't dialogue with the criminals now. There is difference between the militants in Niger Delta and bandits. That is what they miss in the north. That's what Gumi is missing. Gumi is saying that militants in Delta are bandits too. Militants in Niger Delta are fighting for resource control. And they don't go from village to village destroying, killing people, destroying lives and property. They are not doing so. In fact, they are protecting their communities. So you can clearly see why they are fighting, why the militants are fighting. But what are the grouses of Futajalon Fulanis coming to Nigeria as bandits? What has Nigeria done to them? We are not talking of Nigerian Fulani. We are talking of Futajalon, Niger Fulani, Chad Fulanis, who are not Nigerians. And that is why, because they are not Nigerians, that explains the ferocity of the attack. And we are not seeing that. Somebody has the audacity to say that the bandits are the militants of the north. I mean, that is crazy. The bandits kill more of northerners than they kill of southerners. And you don't see that. I just wonder, what brought me into this type of country with this kind of people who don't see that crime against one is crime against all. It's difficult for me to understand. And people are not angry. We are not angry. We don't know how to express our anger. We are not angry people. We are not. Right in my mother's village, Ugonorogu, herdsmen raped a woman on her farm. That wasn't bad enough. They blinded her, destroyed her 2 eyes. And the people woke up. The people woke up and chased them, chased the cows, chased them and their cows out. And General Musa, immediate past, immediate past, CDS, and a Christian, came to say that no, cows should be arrested. Don't kill them. Go to court, claim damages. Do you know which house do you think the killer? Can you get a herdsman to be arrested? Can the owner of the farm that has been destroyed get a herdsman arrested? Miyetti Allah will come the following day with a lawyer with sand, bail him, and he will disappear. We must proscribe Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah was paid 100 billion naira by Buhari for what we don't know. But what we suspect, what I suspect, is a reward for bringing armed bandits into the country.
Anyway, so you feel kinetic approach should not even be thought of. We should not dialogue with anybody.
You dialogue when you've eliminated them.
Okay, anyway, we're not eliminating our discussion. The time is not afraid. We're almost out of time, though. But a major final one, which is on the front burner of all discourse, is the issue of the U.S. intervention. Yes, you said they should come. But there's this also school of thought that collaboration should also be key. Because like you also said, if they come, they eliminate, they go. These people might come back. So let's look at in what way can collaboration help to strengthen our security architecture and in every way put an end to this? In your own take. Your
Collaboration with who?
With Western powers that have the might, that have the know-wither, that have the intelligence gathering.
Earlier on, I told you, patriotism is the thing. We don't lack manpower. We don't lack the resources, human resources, to solve this problem.
What of intelligence?
We don't even lack the intelligence. Everything that is going on, DSS knows. The military intelligence know. The armed forces intelligence, the army intelligence, they know. They know. But they are handicapped by opposing ideologies. That is the problem. You know that the military is highly hierarchical. Orders from the above cannot be obeyed, they cannot be disobeyed down.
By under below.
So, we have heard a lot. You remember there was a story that Boko Haram was almost being defeated by Jonathan.
Yeah.
Using mercenaries.
Yeah.
Mercenaries are issue of collaboration.
Yes. Yeah.
If you are talking of engaging mercenaries to help us to boost our...
So should we go towards that route?
Yes, that's where we should go. That's the cooperation we should go. When you are bringing mercenaries, you go through their government and bring the mercenaries.
Okay.
You can also go through joint training, which is almost going on at the same time. Nigerian soldiers are trained abroad.
Yeah, up to now.
Up to now, they come back. But we must have a way to go into the mind of Nigerians to make them Nigerians. Until we find a way to do that, we're wasting our time. We're wasting our time.
But anyway, I will tell you, we've not wasted our time in this discussion. It has been elaborate, it has been revealing, and more like soul-searching for many Nigerians, especially as you talked about our need to be more patriotic for a true Nigerian cause. I would need to thank you so much, Chief Olori Magege. Time is never a friend, especially when we're having such very important, robust, and intelligent discussion. But you also agree with me that indeed security has to improve on the black and most populous nation on the planet. But I thank you so much for taking your time and adding your voice to national growth, especially as it concerns the issue of insecurity. I really, truly thank you. And I mean no other person but Chief Olori Magege. And you do know, like Oliver will say, you always ask for more.
I'm always available.
So we always want to call you to also have or share your thought as it concerns major critical national issues on the front burner. Thank you so much.
Anytime for inviting me.
Well, thank you so
very
much. Well, anyway, for me, it's a wrap on dialogue. Today, we talked about handling the growing insecurity in the country, and you do know the discussion will never end on our tables. Let's continue our discussion because I will need your comments, contribution, and indeed, any idea that will better this very nation. Go drop them on our social media platform. They're already there on your screen. And be rest assured that all of those comments are truly appreciated by us. I really want to see, yes, we've been seeing comments that have been coming on account of all our discussion. We truly appreciate you. Sooner or later, I'll be calling out those names and giving you deep appreciation on account of how you follow and is a part of this program that seems to reach a whole lot. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God willing, we'll see you tomorrow on another awesome edition of Dialogue. Bye for now.